Hello everyone, welcome to Pandas course. So today's session will be moving towards directly to the use that basic functionality of Pandas, how we have to work on. So we already have in Jupyter Notebook because we'll start with directly to the code today. How we have to going towards the functionality, how we are using with the help of series, data frame. Let's start with the importing part. So import, we need NumPy as well as Pandas. So NumPy as NP as well as we want to import pandas. So import pandas as pd. The reason behind that, because we need to access series, list, tuple to create it, then the manipulation we use panda. So both we import it. So let's start with the creation. Go with variable just to store the value. Pd dot to start with the series. Inside that we are going with the random values. So np dot random method to generate the random values, random dot randn. So this is for the randoms, how many you wanted. You can go with 4, 5, 6, 7, how many you want. Suppose I need 8, so I'll go with 8 and just run this, and then I want to see that how it's how it generated. So print and then var. So this is the first way in a functionality, how we have to create it, how we have to use it, how we have to see the things in that. So now we'll be seeing how we are using the access on that. So now we already imported. So now we are creating the things going with the access we already created. Let's move to see the access. So just we are going with print and then the var dot axes. This is the first functionality we use in pandas to see that what is the access, how many. So range index start 0, stop 8, step 1, because from 0 to 7 to stop it's 8, step 1. So this is what it shows, that how many, from where it start, from where it stop, and step. Stop, always remember, whenever it's take -1. That's why it shows 8. So when you change it the value, suppose we are going towards to the 10 here, we are run this. Now we just move to run this, we are getting 10 value. Now if you run this particular line, it shows 0, 10 and 1. So this is the first one, how we have to working on the access. Now let's see the another method, that is your empty. So we already created, we keep that, we just use the methods, all the functionality. The second one, use a print, going with var dot your empty, empty. So just run this. If you observe false, because our set is there, when you put the empty, nothing is empty, so it shows up false. Now we'll see when you do the entry of that particular, what the things we got it for this. So let's use the another functionality, that is print, going with your var dot your ending, that is for when you run it will get what, because the dimension of the object ending is nothing. What is the dimension? We are using just a normal 1D array, right? We are not using 2D array. When you use a 2D array, the dimension should be 2D. We are using normal 1D array, so it shows that our array is the 1D. Now suppose we want to see what is the values of data series are there inside that. We already created, just going with the print and then inside that going with s var dot values. So when you use this method, it shows that whatever the values. So series, we know that series is nothing but whenever we are using series with a 1D array and data frame for the 2D array. So now we just go with all the things in a 1D array. We can observe it values, when it gives all the values, like whatever the values we used it. Now I want to see size of that, the things. What is the size on that? So for the size, we are going with print, then var dot size, size. When you run, you get that size of this thing is 10. And then the main thing, head and tail, like what will be your first one, what will be the last one, because we want to see that particular things as well. This all the series functionality. We talk about panda series functionality, so we use this thing. So we see that what we with the head part, whatever the tail part. So we'll go with print and then inside that our variable, that is variable name dot head, and we just go with the head. Suppose we want to pass 2, you will get the 2 values. So we already see that how many values you wanted, you can get that on that. Suppose you are not giving any values, so by default when you use it, it gives how many values? It gives starting 5 values, and if you want to pass the values, you can pass it. So I'm taking starting normally, copy this, paste here. Here I'm just passing the values how many I want. Suppose 7. When you run, it gives all the 7, and it gives the float 64 because it's generated randomly. Now I want to see tell as well. So tell has also the same functionality. When you go with print and then your variable name, that is var dot tail. So when you use normal tail, it gives. So this is also a same functionality. If you use this, then last 5 will be printed. So I'm taking the same thing here and just copy paste it here. And I just go with 5 values. So it gives the 5. Suppose I need here inside that the 7 values from the 10, it's give the 7 values. So those are the basics functionality with the 1D or series. So we just go with first the normal variable, go with the access to see that access, then empty. So that is depend upon when it's nothing is there. If you won't generate it, then it gives the true. But we generated, it's give false. Now we want to see it's which dimensional. That's why we use a method called ending. It shows 1. Values, whatever the values it's generated by default, because we use a random, it shows that values. Then comes to the size, how many size, it is 10 because we use 10. Then comes to your head, because when you use normal head, it's going with all the 5. Then suppose you want from the head 7 values, it gives 7, 5, 4. That's depend upon you how many values you wanted. In this we just want to see for the tell means from the downside. The same functionality what for your head from the starting, tell for the stop, meaning like the end of that. So those are all the series functionality in a Python. We used it in our pandas. So I hope you are clear with this. For the next session, we'll see that when how we are using data frame with this same functionality.